Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. An essential component of planning for retirement and old age is building financial resources that can be used to pay for long-term care. Yet, having enough money to pay for long-term care is not an automatic guarantee of getting the best care when you need it. The biggest problem is availability. Independent or assisted living facilities often have waiting lists that are months or even years long. If you need a unit immediately, you may have to settle for the first unit available. It could be miles away, expensive, poorly staffed, or not well suited for your needs. So the point is that needing long-term care is not an unknown, at least not largely. The chances are high that you're going to need it. According to the Administration of Community Living, about 70% of people who turn 65 today will need some type of long-term care in their remaining years. And of those, 20% are going to need nursing home care. The remaining 50% will need care in an assisted living facility or in their own home. Now, what is unknown is the timing. Typically, the need for long-term care is really triggered by a crisis, such as a fall or a stroke or a heart attack. Even gradual health declines, when they're ignored or not dealt with proactively, can become a crisis. What are those? Well, they can include cognitive decline like Alzheimer's, dementia, sight loss, hearing loss, mobility issues, and even social isolation. It's common for us to put off addressing these until a crisis point is reached. Some of the cognitive biases that contribute to not taking action when the probability is so high action will need to be taken are loss aversion being one. This leads us to prioritize avoiding a loss over seeking an equivalent gain. In contemplating a move to a long-term care facility, the fear of losing one's autonomy, their current lifestyle, can very likely lead to delaying the decision until a crisis forces it. Another one is procrastination bias. This results in deferring actions that are really uncomfortable or difficult. Delays in transitioning to a long-term care facility might be attributed to the emotion challenges tied to selling a home, parting with lifelong belongings, and disrupting daily routines. There can be powerful emotions attached to these. And the third that I could think of is optimism bias. This causes us to overestimate our chances of success and underestimate the potential for failure. Chances for success are 30%. Chances for needing long-term care, 70%. Optimism can lead us to believe that our health will improve or that the need for care is not as pressing as it appears. Overcoming unconscious biases like these requires some really deep emotional work. Facts, like those cited above, are rarely enough to motivate someone to go into action. One suggestion, which might seem kind of counterintuitive, is to work around the biases by taking some steps early when we don't have the need for care right now, or the need may feel more like a distant possibility rather than a probability that's just looming around the corner. So those steps could be to seek some financial planning advice to help you build adequate savings, because long-term care can be pretty costly. Explore long-term care insurance, which can offset expenses, but comes with eligibility and additional cost considerations. Assess your cognitive and physical abilities. Every few years there's assessments that you can get that will help you with this, and many financial planners offer such assessments. You can also find these assessments online, though be aware that many of them are promotional. Research the various long-term care options in your community. There could be even more than you're aware of. Enhance your chances of securing your preferred choice of long-term care facility when you need it by signing up on a wait list. Like I said, so many of these have many months, if not several years, of waiting lists, of waiting. So if you get on the waiting list sooner than later, it can make it more instantly available when you need it. For instance, there's an excellent facility in my town that offers independent living. They also have assisted living. They also have skilled nursing care. As I said, the waiting period for these can be 6 months to 5 years. And you can get on the waiting list with a refundable deposit of $6,000. I got on their wait list 5 years ago, though I hope not to need a unit for another 10 or 20 years. Accepting that long-term care will eventually be a necessity is just one step toward preparing emotionally to accept and arrange for that care. Overcoming biases by starting early can pave the way for a smoother transition when that time arrives. Thanks for joining me.